Hey there, guys. GareBear here, and you can see me, and you can also see some stats over there. Normally I do a lot of Magic the Gathering stuff, and I've even done a couple scary games, but something else I really like to do are reviews and opinions because I'm full of them and I'm an opinionated dickwad. Anyways, uh, the only thing is, a lot of thing I don't like reading about reviews is how critical some reviews are. And yeah, I understand these places exist to be critical and help you make a buying decision, but sometimes they are just critical on the wrong part. Today, we are reviewing this, the Alienware Alpha. And in the reflection, you can see my lighting setup. Ooh, pretty. And, about the thing that I hate the most about this probably is the fact that it is a fingerprint magnet. You can see that right there. And I just cleaned this thing off probably 20 seconds ago for this. So, first, I figured while I am here, let's take a look at these stats. As you can see, this comes with an Xbox 360 controller, the USB adapter, AC adapter, and a setup guide. Yeah, whatever, who cares about all that shit. About the most cool thing about that is that it comes with the 360 controller. I am a console gamer at heart, so that was pretty sweet with me. It comes with the Windows 8.1 operating system, SteamOS compatible. I've not done the SteamOS. I don't mind the Windows 8.1 operating system. I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm also not a complete hater and think that it is just god-awful like a lot of people do. I got the i5 version, the i5 2.0 gigahertz, and the only reason I went with the i5 version over the i3 version is it gives a little bit more future-proof. You can upgrade you can upgrade the processor in this, so even though it gives you a little bit of future-proof, it's future-proof somewhere where you can upgrade. It has 8 gig DDR3 RAM, 1600 megahertz, 1 terabyte 5400 RPM hard drive. I wish it would have been the 7200 RPM hard drive because this thing has a relatively slow startup time. On my PC, I am utterly spoilt by having my OS and stuff installed on a solid state drive, and the startup is very instant. For this machine, for trying to get that console feel, it starts up relatively slow, so that's kind of a complaint. Dual band Wi-Fi, would know nothing about it because I'm going to hardwire this, most likely just like you guys are going to hardwire this. Bluetooth 4.0 technology. Haven't tried it yet, but I am actually pretty psyched about setting up my headset Bluetooth on this machine. NVIDIA GTX custom GPU with 2 gigabyte GDDR5. Man, that is a fucking mouthful. NVIDIA GTX custom GPU with 2 gigabytes GDDR5 graphics memory. I can't remember exactly what they said. This is basically a knocked off version of a older graphics card that has been soldered to the motherboard. So yep, you cannot upgrade the graphics card. Kind of a bummer, but I've not had a problem running most games on this so far. Console desktop modes, if you had the option, which there probably is, I haven't done enough digging, I would turn off the Alienware custom console interface. It's a burden. It makes starting into the desktop mode take for fucking ever. It's a real pain in the ass. Steam Big Picture mode, you can do that on desktop mode. Who gives a shit? It has 2 USB 3.0. And unfortunately, those are on the back. So what you'll see right here is the AC, HDMI in and out, the optical, audio optical. Sorry if I'm really loud because I'm really close to the microphone right now. Ethernet port, and these right here are your 2 USB 3.0. They don't have the blue tongue like USB 3.0 do. I actually had to look it up to find out which ones were the USB 3.0 because it doesn't tell you. And then it has 2 USB 2.0 And what you can see right here, this is actually the dongle, which is a fun word to say, for my very dirty, here, let's give this a quick wipe down before I show it to you guys. Very not so dirty now. This is just the keyboard that I use where it has the touchpad, which I really like using on the couch. The only thing is the input is a little laggy, which kind of sucks. So yeah, the two front ones are USB, or 2.0, I mean, not USB. They're USB 2.0, and then there is actually a little case right here. This little piece of plastic goes over here. You can pop it off. This was supposed to be for the Steam Machine controller, and if you look in there, right here, you can't really see it. Right here is actually another USB 2.0 port. So I'll just snap this back on. Alright, so looking down here even more, HDMI, DC Ethernet input. Who gives a fuck about that? Let's talk about the HDMI. It has HDMI in, HDMI out, a lot like the Xbox One does. The only thing is, this is not as intuitive with the HDMI in. So you are not going to be controlling your TV or your soundbar or anything with this console the way you can do with the Xbox One and the Kinect, which is really kind of a bummer. I've been trying this thing out with the HDMI in, having the cable box run into this machine, then the machine running to the TV, and I gotta say I just missed the functionality of having it hooked up straight through my Xbox. So the HDMI in, I'm thinking I will just run my, here, wipe this thing off too. I'm probably just gonna run my Amazon Fire TV through the HDMI in, and that way I can just have a super quick interface for watching TV, or like watching net TV, or playing consoles without having to like switch HDMI on the TV. And as a heads up for those of you who do not know, on your trusty dusty keyboard, Control-Shift-H. Control-Shift-H at the same time is how you switch from the the PC to the HDMI in. So if you Control-Shift-H, you can watch TV. Control-Shift-H, switch back to the desktop. Not too bad. I mean, that's pretty nice. So that's why if I want to do that, I'll just Control-Shift-H and switch to my Amazon. Control-Shift-H, play some freaking video games. So I kind of like the idea of that. Running cable box through this though, no bueno at all. This is a big flaw for me. It's choosing design over practicality. As some of you who have seen before, this lights up. The little alien head and this little chunky corner lights up. And you can actually pick the light that goes through. You can actually pick the color of the light, or you could pick for the light to change colors if you receive an email or something like that. Kind of cool, whatever, but my iPad is almost always sitting next to me on the couch and it goes ba-ding when I have a new email. I don't really need this. How much did this drive up production cost? Just to add pretty LEDs that you can set the color of. I mean, I would rather not have the LEDs and maybe spend $20, $30 less. It's not practical. I dislike it a lot. This thing is very small though. Compare it to any gaming PC. Yeah, sure, it doesn't have quite the same horsepower as most gaming PCs, but it is very small. And I love how this thing looks sitting on my entertainment center under my TV, sitting next to my Xbox. It looks beautiful. I've been playing Far Cry 4, which a lot of people say is very demanding on this. I did the auto settings and it wanted to play on high, and it plays really well on high. I actually lowered some of the settings though just to get smoother gameplay because it plays really well, but you kind of get this feeling like it's stuttering or it's working too hard or something like that. And you just don't want to like overwork it And I probably have no fucking idea what I'm talking about when I say that, but like I said, it just feels like there's something going on behind the scenes, and I didn't like how it felt playing on all high settings, so I lowered some of the settings. Still looks utterly beautiful, still has amazing draw distances, and I haven't noticed any lag really at all. And as people who've played that game know, there can be a lot of shit going on the screen all at once. So yeah, I talk about most things on this. What did I get this for though? I got this mostly, and this is overkill, to set up as an emulator box for everything from Super Nintendo all the way up to PS2, GameCube, and even Wii games. So that's why I kind of got this. I really wanted to stream uh, to Twitch me playing old PS1 RPGs and stuff, and I wanted to do it while sitting on my couch, but also still being able to have my microphone and a webcam and stuff like that hooked up. You know, those games are fucking long as hell, and I don't want to do it sitting in my computer chair. So, lay down on the couch, play some good old-fashioned RPGs, kicked back on the couch, chatting with you guys while I am still streaming. It sounded amazing, and you know what? This thing has worked for emulation really, really well. It should, because it's a pretty powerful machine, for emulation. You don't really need, like nowadays, back in the day, you needed pretty powerful shit to emulate. They said you needed 3 times more powerful than the original console it was on because of all the stuff going on in the background. Nowadays, you can get away with it with a fairly modest setup, and this just blazes through emulation so nicely. And I just sign everything to the included Xbox 360 controller and play my old PS1 games, my PS2s, all that stuff, and it is magnificent. I love it. Not really. I don't really have this thing for watching movies because I have my Xbox One for watching movies, or I have the Amazon TV for watching movies and stuff like that. Don't really have this as a stream machine for Netflix or Hulu or anything like that. I'll just do that stuff through Xbox One, through the Amazon Fire TV. Who gives a shit? I don't need it for anything that. We want this for the games. We want this to consume games. Another nice thing about this is with Steam, you can do the in-home streaming, and it worked flawlessly. I have streamed my games. If my desktop right here is a super powerful rig compared to this thing. So if I wanted to stream a game that this has a hard time handling on pretty looking settings, I can have this do the brunt of the work and have it go on my TV with pretty much no lag. So that's beautiful. Fucking beautiful. I really like this thing. I am easily amused. I do easily amused reviews. And for my easily amused review, I like this thing a lot. It is expensive. You are paying pretty expensive for the Alienware name, and I would never recommend paying full price for this. I actually got a hefty discount on this thing by using a shall not be named person's employee discount to pick this up, and it was worth it for me. It was either this or the Mac Mini, one of the newer ones in the same price range. Would have cost me right around here. Let me check real quick. Right around. Yeah, this thing. If I wouldn't have gotten the discount, this thing's $900. Don't pay $900 for this thing. I implore, do not pay $900 for this. I ended up picking this up. I think right around $700. So it was this or the Mac Mini that was $700. This had a really nice graphics card in it. The Mac Mini does not. And I planned on turning both of them into a home theater PC / emulator box. This is the better emulator box when, you can have them both at the same price. I couldn't get the same employee discount on the Mac Mini, or else that one probably would have been a shoo-in for it because it would have been even cheaper than what I got this one for. But I like this thing. I like it a lot. I like how much I paid for it. And do I recommend it? Yes. Not full price, though. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to bring you guys more easily amused reviews. And you know what? Let's cut it off there. Have a good night.